Hello and welcome back to Automation Anywhere Presents. My name is Bill Bunce. I'm the Director of Public Sector here at Automation Anywhere. What we like to do in this series is put a spotlight on real-life solutions that are making things easier in public sector by implementing robotic process automation. This week, I'm being joined by John Bideweser. He's going to walk us through a use case of automating 508 compliance research. John, take it away.
So let's talk a little bit about 508 compliance. When a government agency makes a web page, they want to make sure that it's accessible to all users. So what this proof of concept is going to show is an example of perhaps a government organization or a person sending an email to have a bot automatically started, which will then send a URL that's included in the email to a bot. The bot will then use two tools, Andy and Site Improve, to look at a document or look at a web page and make sure that everything is 508 compliant and note anything that isn't. Now, in this example, I'm not going to look at every single thing in the web page. I'm going to pick the first two or three things that it finds for each type of compliance, of non-compliance. Store those in a Word file and send that back to the person who requested that the web page be looked at. So the bot is now running, and the first thing it did was to click on Andy and start to run that. And as it's doing so, everything that it reads off the screen, it's putting into a Word file, which again will be sent back. And what it's picking up includes taking a screenshot of what's being looked at. So you may notice as we go down and look at the different things that aren't compliant, on the screen of the web page, you'll see a pink box. That pink box is used by Andy to signify which portion of the screen is not meeting some compliance standard. So the first one was the Facebook button, and next it finds the Twitter button, and so forth. And again, I'm not picking up everything from this web page that might not be in compliance, but I'm picking up a number of things just to show that this is possible in an actual bot. And this can be completely automated so that a human never has to even start the bot. Instead, what happens is that a person sends the email in with a list of web pages to look at. So as the bot is going on, notice that it's interfacing both with the web page, which is HTML based, and also the tool called Andy, which is Java based. And with both of those, we can simply point to what we want the bot to click. It will click, and we can read anything out of what it clicked. So this will go on for a minute. And again, we're putting everything in the Word file to send back. We could even have this bot set up so that some things, if it finds certain types of non-compliance, it can automatically take an action, change something on the web page to make it compliant. But in our case, we will just send back to the requester information about everything in the web page that is not compliant, and it makes it easier for them to take action afterwards. They don't have to click on each button to see if something is compliant or not. Another thing that could be done in the bot, if wished, is we can only record certain types of non-compliance. So maybe some things aren't as important. You want the things that cause a large compliance issue. We can have the bot not record ones that aren't of a higher order of non-compliance. So in addition to getting everything that was shown on the right side, the accessibility alerts, we can also go in and look for something else, such as color contrasts, which are hard to read, and put all of those things in the Word file. The next thing we'll do after everything is done with Andy is we'll close Andy, and we'll click on the button to start up Site Improve. And then Site Improve has different types of information displayed in a different way, but the bot will pull some information off of that to also include in the Word file that's sent back. So we can have it search for images or text and put that information in to send back. And in this case, it's text explaining why something is non-compliant. And the last thing it'll do, it'll look for is to see if something is difficult to read. And we'll see that it will find a piece of the screen that does have the word census in it, but it's extremely hard to read with the background and contrast. So at this point, the bot is done running, and if the person would go back to their email, we can see the email that will have the Word file that was created for the user to use and to look through and determine which non-compliance items need to be attended to. So those are the results automatically sent back by the bot. And if we open the document, we can see the Word file that you saw being constructed as the bot was running. And what I'm doing now is simply going slowly through that Word file to show everything that it found. So we found 77 focusability elements, and it's going to have a sampling of 3 of them. And notice in the screenshots, it will tell us exactly where it was finding something not compliant, in that case, the LinkedIn button, and all the other things. So this should make it much easier for a person who has to make sure a web page is 508 compliant to determine what needs to be fixed at a quick glance, instead of having to type through each button on one of those tools that finds compliance. And Bill, back to you.
John, that was fantastic. I appreciate it. That's a great example of using automation or robotic process automation with tools that you already have available in your enterprise to automate processes that humans are doing today, but could be done much faster and much more efficient by leveraging an automation or a bot as a personal assistant. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you, Bill.